Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Fantasy Baseball Podcast. This is me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, and today we got a brand new mock draft episode for you. We're going 6x6. That's right. We're taking things to the next level. The Welsh and I are here as always, and we're going to invite a new friend to hang out with us and mock today. You know her from the SP Streamer podcast, and of course, she writes for Fantrax HQ. She's Lauren Auerbach. You can follow her on Twitter at LK Auerbach. Lauren, thank you so much for coming to the show, hanging out with us today, and doing a little mock draft with us.
Guys, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so ready to mock. Baseball's back on. We've got hot stove action. It's turning spring. I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to mock. I'm good. Let's go.
Well, it's turning very, very red hot summer for the Welsh, who continues to be out in the sun and getting redder and redder by the minute.
I still look good though. I don't look too burnt or anything.
You look great.
I gotta be honest with you. I was very worried about how I was going to look today because there is some video on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FantasyPros. If anybody follows me on Twitter, @IsItTheWelsh, they know that I have been out all week in spring training. And yesterday I was hobnobbing with some big shots there, taking some pictures, but I was out in the sun the entire day. And I also would like to report, Joe, I had a very dangerous experiment that I did all day. I then went to the Diamondbacks game. And I don't know if you know this, they have full bats. It's probably like about that size that I just showed on the video that can be filled with adult beverages. And I did consume a full bat of adult beverage with no food and all sun during the day. And I'm happy to report I didn't end up in jail. So
it was a 32-ounce bat, or what size bat were you swinging there, Chief?
64.
We were at least 64. We were at least 64 ouncer.
Okay, wow.
So,
big bat.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm good.
I just think it's great. You got a nice little picture of you and Manny Machado. Machado actually smiling in it. I don't know what you paid him to do that. But it's worth every penny. It was fantastic.
You want to know a funny thing is a friend I was there with went up to him and was like, hey man, I feel like I should give you money because of the fantasy championships that you've won me. And he goes, oh yeah, where is it? And he started laughing, and that got him in the mood.
And then you immediately took the picture while he was,
and I was like,
smiling.
Quick! He's smiling. He's happy. Yeah, no, exactly. No, he was good. He was in a good mood, regardless of Tatis Jr., who underwent surgery the day before, or it actually, I think it was Wednesday that he did it, and I was there Thursday.
All right, let's get a quick take on a couple things here because there were some major signings since we've last left everybody. Frank and Chris and I tried to get everything we possibly could in the last podcast, but more things happened. Lauren, what did you think of the Chris Bryant signing in Colorado there? What's your takeaway in terms of fantasy value? Because I'm sure we're all bumping him up because, well, it's Colorado, but still kind of an odd signing when all said and done, right?
It definitely is. I think it is very good for Chris Bryant and, fantasy managers who have him. I think that if, you were drafting, in the off season and you banked on him, I think that you will have a nice payday. In terms of real life baseball, it's the Rockies. This 7-year contract, it doesn't make sense to me. But again, it's the Rockies, and this is a very Rocky move, I feel like.
Oh, very nice. Excellent. Yeah. And Welsh, Freddie Freeman is now officially a Dodger. Was kind of that foregone conclusion. That lineup is absolutely stacked, but I kept saying that, yes, it's great on paper, but how many times have we seen these amazing things on paper never come to fruition? And we're talking about Muncy having an injury, Pollock and Turner are perpetually injured, Bellinger's coming off a down year. I know Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, the whole thing with Trey Turner. I know it's very sexy. I know everyone's very excited about it, but is there a potential downside too that people maybe aren't, I don't know, or maybe over investing in, I guess is the question?
Nope. It's the most ridiculous lineup that we've seen probably since 2003. Bogman and I actually were taking a look at this earlier in the week. Since the 2003, I think it was Yankees, where it was just stacked on each spot. They're loaded, man. It's a powerhouse, and I love the destination.
All right. We want to remind everybody, too, before we kick things off with today's draft, that make sure that you are using our multi-user draft software right now. The mock draft lobby is out there. You can send links to your friends, to your enemies, to your colleagues, whatever you want to do and practice your mock draft at fantasypros.com/draftwizard. You'll see today, especially on the video on the YouTube side, we're using that multi-user draft software, and it's very easy to use, and you can practice fun mock drafts. You can even do solo mock drafts on the Draft Wizard too. If you don't have any friends or enemies, that's fine too. But we strongly encourage you guys to go check it out if you never have at fantasypros.com/draftwizard, because this is a time to start training those draft muscles. We are in it right now. Also, make sure you're watching our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasypros MLB. Remember, this is its own separate channel because Welsh and I are just so darn special. So on the MLB channel, leading off, starting the day before the season on April 6th, and then every day you're going to get leading off 5 times a week with me, with the Welsh, with our friends. That's right, because we are here for you every single day. The home run contest is going to be back. That's going to be very exciting. And also, if you go join our Discord at Fantasy Pros, we got a fun little Black Book challenge going at Fantrax. I'm going to drop a link where you can join one of these leagues in this tournament. There will be prizes for the winner, and people in our Discord are going to have first crack at joining those leagues. So if you haven't already, go to fantasypros.com/chat and go join our Discord right now. And then keep an eye out this weekend for one of those Black Book challenge links that I'll be drafting. That's exciting, isn't it, Welsh?
That is very, very exciting. And lots of cool stuff too as well. We've got like our AMA rooms that people can chat with us. Can I also say, because it's this season with drafting, very, very important thing for people to do is for the next couple weeks, when you get on the Draft Wizard, you have got to screenshot if Joe or myself are the #1 analyst that loves your mock draft, and you have to tweet it out. Joe Pizza PS17, is it the Welsh? Tweet out if we become your greatest, aggregate and proponent for your draft. Please do that, because I want to know. I want to see your drafts of
or the biggest hater. Like I see everyone. I always give people bad draft grades.
This person hates you more than anybody.
Well, in football season, I'm notorious. People will get A-, B+, and I'll give somebody a D.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
And people love it. And I'm like the code you got to crack in order to get the good team. Like if you can get Joe to approve of your team, you've done all right. And it's hilarious. People would be running simulation. They say that the record was broken because I gave such bad draft grades out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if we like your draft, we hate your draft, screenshot it, send it to us over on the Twitter machine. All right. So today we're doing 6x6. So we decided to step it up a notch. We're going to add quality starts and OBP along with batting average and wins. And we are going to also kind of make things a little tougher on ourselves. We're gonna clump ourselves a little bit more into the spots there. We got Welsh drafting from the 5 spot. I'm drafting from the 8. I'm drafting from 12. Lauren's gonna be in between at the 8 because we figure it's easy. Everybody kind of knows what the top is, especially with the Tatis stuff. So we're gonna kick things off in a second. So Lauren, before we do, any theoretical approach here or things that you're hoping for in this first round that make it down to you in the 8 spot?
At the 8 spot, I always think I like the 8 spot because you don't really know. Sometimes, you don't know where it falls. I have kind of a bottom tier of power, kind of speed guys that, I'm not going to tell you exactly because Chris is right in front of me. But
let's make sure we don't.
But I have like a bottom tier, if that guy's gone, sometimes I pivot to pitchers. Sometimes I'll go big bat. It really depends. This is the point in a draft where kind of my first pick, anything can go.
Well, I can tell you Welsh is mad already because Jose Ramirez is not available. Trey Turner went 1. Juan Soto, my dude, went 2. Jose Ramirez went 3. Now Tatis went 4. Again, this is theoretical. Team 4 was out at St. Patrick's Day last night, having a few too many. So Welsh, you're up here with the 105 spot and 15 seconds left to go.
They pulled me back in. I am back into this. I have my relationship with Ronald Acuna has been wild lately, where I was in the top and then I dropped him down to the 30s. But now with the conversation that he will DH April 20th or 21st, I am back in and I will take him top 5. Even though he's not an OBP monster like Vladimir Guerrero was, I'll get all the stolen bases. He's still solid, and he is back in that starting lineup in April-ish. So that's all I wanted. So I'm back into Acuna at 5.
Bobachek goes next, then Vlad Guerrero Jr. all the way at 7. What a steal, Lauren Auerbach. You are on the clock.
Let's see. Wait. Wait. So okay. Sorry. We're on we're 2 now, right? Yeah.
Wait, we're still at 1 for your pick. So why don't you talk about Bryce Harper, and that's who you select.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. So Bryce Harper is kind of one of my last power speed guys. This isn't also, we're doing OBP. So I really like this pick. It gives me a lot across the board.
Joey.
Very nice. All right. What's that, Welsh?
I know you're up. I was just saying, Joey.
I know.
You're
I got
here.
one. I got one in the tank there. I just wanted Lauren to make sure she got her picks in there. So Bryce Harper goes, then Garrett Cole, Mookie Betts, Corbin Burns. I'm going to go ahead and take Mike Trout. We got 4 outfielders, 2 utility. We are playing with corner and middle infield in this one too. So now it's a question. Do I want to go hit first base early with Freddie Freeman? Do I want to go for a pitcher? Do I want to go for Rafael Devers at third base? Third base is a wasteland. So give me Rafi Devers because I'm a big fan there. Now, I don't think Mike Trout's going to steal a ton of bases. I don't think it's going to be a rebirth of the speed of Mike Trout. But I do think that there's high motivation there. I think he realized his last few years have been really frustrating for not only him, but fantasy owners as well. So Mike Trout to me at 112, I will take the shot. After that, Walker Buehler goes. Team 11 double dipping on the pitching. Team 10 takes Shohei Ohtani. Freddie Freeman goes 9. Lauren, you are up next on the clock here.
So I've got Kyle Tucker. He goes kind of back to back with me with Bryce Harper. I like the power speed combo. You've got the OBP there. I like at the top of the draft to try and get a lot of that elite power speed combo because I think it helps you in the back game.
I would agree. Max Scherzer goes next. Luis Robert after that. Welsh is up for 208 with Ozzie Albies still on the board and Jordan Alvarez. My goodness. And your new best friend, Manny Machado.
I know. I see Manny up there. I was like, we're good friends now.
You guys play bridge together, I think.
So one thing that does happen in these, I think good and bad, is it becomes a really big hyper focus when you have any type of OBP, whether you've replaced it or added it. And I think values get nuts. And sometimes guys, I know they get completely thrown down. And this is one of those instances where you look, and Ozzie Albies is not a big OBP guy, but he is such a good value. So I will acknowledge one thing I'm doing early on. I'm not doing the best job of pinpointing my OBP, but I'll try to pick that up a little bit later by getting values. Albie shouldn't have dropped to me down there. So I think we can get a little bit nuts with quality starts and OBP in these formats, especially that we just added. So that was a no-brainer for me to take Ozzie.
All right, get your other pick ready and queued up because I know you're back on the clock already. Machado goes right after. He's scorned by you. Brandon Woodruff, Starling Marte, Jacob deGrom all the way at 212. My goodness, that is possibly a game changer. Then Aaron Judge starting off the third round, 302, Jordan Alvarez, Zach Wheeler, Shane Bieber go back to back. Little pitching run here. 4 of the last 6 picks. Welsh, you're up next.
Well, I am looking if I want to go power or do I want to go... I don't. I'm going to continue this. I've been doing this. Oh, no.
5 seconds. Make a choice.
You know what? We'll do this. We're going to take... I just realized I have the entire Atlanta Braves team. I didn't realize I just took Matt Olson for the first time. I have the entire Atlanta Braves team without concentration. But I need some big power in there, and I really need the Braves to do well, apparently, in the NL now.
Well, hopefully you can get John Smoltz later on as well.
You know what I was going to do? I was going to take Whit Merrifield, but I also took Ozzie to try to get big on speed, simply because I'm going to miss it a little bit early. So that was tough.
I love how quick Lauren is on the trigger. Lauren's like, you two Yoko, shut up. I'm like, she's got guys queued up, ready to go. So Matt Olson goes, Urias goes, Tim Anderson, and then Lauren, who did you select?
I did Teoscar Hernandez, again, power speed. I will say I don't love, though, I've got three outfielders in a row, and I feel I don't like that. I'd like to kind of get a little bit more mixed up in position-wise, but I do like what he brings to the table. So we're rolling with that.
I have a unique situation here where I could take Cedric Mullins and Whit Merrifield, and I feel like it'd be very annoying. I feel like that's something I want to do here. I kind of like
absolutely love that stuff.
I mean,
I think if you do that,
I feel like I'm gonna.
If you do that, Chris Welsh might really love your draft at the end.
2 thumbs? Could I possibly get 2 thumbs up? I think it's possible. Well, after Teoscar went, we have Xander Bogaerts, Aaron Nola, Sal Perez, Cedric Mullins to me. And you know what? My boy, Whit Merrifield. Simeon's very tempting here too. Yeah. But once again, those stolen bases are just hard to come by. I feel like I lock these 2 guys in here. I'm probably locking in 50 steals. That's a pretty good floor, and then I can go worry about everything else later. So Marcus Semien goes directly after his Team 11. That was building from the inside out. Trevor Story goes next. He doesn't have a home except on Team 10. Sandy Alcantara, Team 9. So Lauren Auerbach finally does take a pitcher. I am still holding out for one. We'll see. So who is the pitcher that went to your staff?
It's Lance Lynn. I'm a big Lance Lynn fan. I just think that he's durable. He gives you those innings that you're looking for, and he plays on a great team. And I generally draft him a little bit sooner anyway. So I don't know if I didn't get a reach notification on that, but I think I'm
No, you don't. You want to avoid those reach notifications. Believe me, they throw these emojis at me. It's very upsetting. It hurts me.
It throws me off though. I'm like, oh.
You could have done this, you know.
I
feel
know.
like the draft wizard sometimes is watching my life and judging my decisions. Robbie Ray, Team 7, Team 6, Austin Riley, the Welsh. Who did you select in the 4th round here?
Lucas Giolito, sir. I went with Lucas Giolito here because I needed a starting pitcher, and it's very interesting to see that the closers did start to go, and I was monitoring that situation as we had Hader and Hendricks.
I was bummed. I was hoping you get Austin Riley. He went the pick before you and just kind of make it a whole
the entire Atlanta Braves. I mean, I cannot believe that I did that.
Giolito, you selected, then Hendricks, Peralta, my dude, Hader, Francisco Lindor, then Wander Franco to start the 5th round, Goldschmidt, Alonso, O'Neill. Back to you, Welsh.
All right. Well, this I think is just too good of a value here. I am the pitchers. I don't like the pitching situation that is going on overall, which sometimes in instances like that, you know, you should jump on it. But there's one offensive player that I think is too enticing, and that's George Springer. So again, I'm not a heavy OBP team here, but I'm heavy all the other stats. I think I'm playing well in 5 categories. I can't win them all, and I'm not going to overpay on OBP right now. And Springer in the 5th round is mwah.
Yeah, love it. You got your one pitcher. You got your stud at the top. Giolito's a true ace. Noah Arenado goes directly after Team 6. Then at 507, Alex Bregman, tremendous value in the 5th round. Lauren Auerbach, you are up.
I am. I'm going to go with Barrios. I'm going to just double tap on some pitchers there.
Nice.
And, you know, I think that the Blue Jays pitchers get a little bit of bump up. Now they've got, you know, Matt Chapman, that's powerhouse lineup. Teams, right? Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
Look, I think Barrios is a great selection there. And look, now with how do you feel about that, Lauren, when you have, like, instead of having that one true ace, having the 2 1A guys in Lynn and Barrios? You like that strategy? I
do. I don't mind it at all. And I think that, you know, these guys sometimes drop a little bit because they aren't super big strikeout guys. But I don't have a problem. You know, I think that you can get some strikeout guys later in the draft. I think especially this season, I think that there are so many great arms and intriguing arms and high strikeout arms out there. So I like this, you know, I feel like this is a good anchor group for me though. I like it.
I agree. I like it as well.
You snapped my soul there, Joe. Oh.
That's right. Well, I'm going to do it a second time probably. And actually, I probably won't. I'm going to take somebody old as the hills. So after you took Barrios, Lauren, Randy Rosarena goes, Ketel Marte goes, Eloy Jimenez at 5'11". Then I took Joe Musgrove, and I think I'm going to double tap the pitching here, especially as guys are dropping like flies. Everyone's shoulder hurts. It's the worst thing ever. So what I'm going to do is take a guy in Joe Musgrove, who I believe in. Love the jump he made last year. I still see him as a 1A, and I'm going to take old man Charlie Morton. That's right. He keeps striking out 200 guys, and right now the draft stock is far too low for a player. I don't care how old he is. As long as he's still good, I don't care. And he's been good. JT Realmuto goes Team 11, then Team 10 at the 603 takes Corey Seager. Nice potential value there. Raisel Iglesias at 604. Lauren, you're up at 605. What do you
I'm going to go just a big power bat with JD Martinez.
Lovely.
That's it. You know, just it's
that's
just
it.
A big power
That's
bat,
the analysis.
You know?
He's good at baseball.
Yeah.
Are you somebody that cares or doesn't care about like locking in a DH and having that person? Like, because I know some people like, oh, they don't like to do it. I'm always of the mind, give me the good player, even if they are only DH eligible. Yeah. How do you feel about that when you're?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. I mean, it's a position that also, you know, can get filled, and depending on what your format is, I have no problem with it. And it's like, you know, I'm like, well, I need a little oomph in the power game, and so JD Reynolds or JD Martinez, you know. JD Reynolds. Gossman. What is that?
I remember JR Reynolds from the Pirates.
Yeah.
When I was I was just a boy. I was just a lad. Kevin Gossman goes at 606. Welsh just misses on Byron Buxton. I can't imagine the profanity going on.
I don't know if everybody heard. I just like the breath got knocked out. I was like, oh, like it's again, not an OBP guy, but 1000% my pick. So I've decided
a Welsh guy. So
yeah, he's 100% Welsh.
Well, make your Buxton. 2 picks here because you're kind of back to back now.
Yeah. So what I got here is I'm double tapping my closers every time. I've mock draft more than maybe anybody this year between in this league and Fantasy Pros, and I've come to terms with my teams come out best when I have those early closers because of the bad situation that's going on with, rotations, and you got places like the Cardinals that won't commit. That takes Gallegos out. So I took Emmanuel Clase, who I absolutely love, and then I came on the back end and I got Edwin Diaz. So I've got both of my closers with Giolito now in a pretty powerful Atlanta Braves offense. So I feel very good.
All right. In between that was Max Fried, Nick Castellanos, Chris Bryant at 6'11", Jose Altuve at 6'12". We'll get to Lauren's pick in a second. We're going to run through here. So, Lauren, if you need to pick, go for it. Or you did already. I'll look at that. Then Chris Sale starts 701, Logan Webb 702, Jose Abreu, Javi Baez, Edwin Diaz to the Welsh. Then Castillo, Mondesi to Team 7. Then, Lauren, what'd you do?
Chris started the closer domino train, and so Presley, I got with Ryan Presley.
I like that.
He's kind of like my last guy that I want to walk out of the 6th or 7th round with a closer that I feel really comfortable with that will give me a ton of saves.
All right, very good. So after Ryan Presley goes, then you have Giancarlo Stanton, Will Smith, Jorge Polanco. I took Brian Reynolds, 7-12. Oh my goodness, I like this pick so much. This makes me so excited to have Brian Reynolds. Now, do I want to take another starting pitcher? I do. I love this guy so much. If this guy played in Boston or New York, he would be a rock star, and people would talk about him all the time. There's two pitchers I really like on the board, or I could just go the boring closer route. I'm going to take the pitcher I really believe in. No, screw it. Not this time. Last time I played your game. This time I'm not. Instead, I'm going to take Trevor Rogers there from the Miami Marlins, because I do believe there's another gear in this guy we have not even seen yet. So now I got my rotation. I got some solid offense here. Certainly got a fair amount of stolen bases too. At least to start. Brandon Lau goes next at 8:02. Then Jack Flaherty 8:03. Dylan Cease 8:04. Lauren, you're back up on the clock.
Oh, I am back up. Okay. I mean, you know what? I'm annoyed that you took Brian Reynolds. I was thanking him. So
I appreciate that.
That's
well, you did have a chance at him.
Yeah,
it's the best compliment.
You could have passed on Ryan Presley. You chose.
No, I couldn't have. It wouldn't have been good.
Oh.
No.
She wants to win the draft. There's no friends.
Yeah.
No friends. So what did you end up going with?
I ended up going with Jonathan India, who I love. If this is like one of the guys this season, I call it a my guy sort of thing. I loved his rookie season. I think he can contribute everywhere. I think he can push, even though the Reds have gutted their team. I think that he can still push for 100 runs. Gives a little pop, gives a little speed. I think that he also has room to grow in his sophomore season. So I really like Jonathan India.
Could not agree more. Huge fan of India. Montas, Jazz Chisholm, Yu Darvish, and then Carlos Correa go next. After that, Yu Darvish goes to the Welsh. That's who took him at 8:08. Your thoughts on Yu Darvish, and then your next pick too, Welsh.
I'm always a big Yu guy. He's my second pitcher in here with Giolito. It's the buyback. The Padres are going to need him more than they've ever needed, and they've got an insane rotation of guys out there. I will say I was really eyeing Carlos Rodon, and he went 2 picks before. So that broke my heart a little bit. But I was going to double tap pitching, but I think there's an insane good value here. And I just saw him the other day at Mariners camp when I stopped over. It's Jesse Winker, who's going to be a decent OBP guy for me. And Winker crushed a ball. It was one of the most ridiculous balls I've ever seen, as Julio did as well in practice. I think he's primed for this team. Maybe he's not a 35, homer guy, if a little power suppression, but he's a big doubles guy. He's a big contact guy, and he's in the middle of a great lineup. So I think Winker was just too good of a value to pass up there. So that's where I went with the 5th pick in the 9th round.
So after Yu Darvish, Carlos Correa at 8:09, then Franmil Reyes, Cody Bellinger, Aroldis Chapman, who I almost took, but I passed on. Tommy Edman starts the 9th round, Christian Yelich, Rodon, as you were pointing out, Mitch Haniger, Jesse Winker, Alek Manoah, then Anthony Rendon, 9:07, 9:08. You were on the clock. Who'd you take there, Lauren?
I went with McClanahan. I was eyeing Alex Manoah, but I wanted to get kind of a little bit of a higher strikeout pitcher. I really liked what we saw out of McClanahan last season. I think that he will improve this season. If he can work on a little bit more command. But he's a high strikeout pitcher. It's Tampa Bay. He is, I think, going to be their star of the future. And so it's McClanahan for me.
All right. So after McClanahan, you got Blake Snell, Ryan Mountcastle, Justin Verlander. And now Verlander made it. Full transparency. I was really hoping he was going to make it to me. I would have easily taken him. But instead, I will take Bobby Witt here with 9:12.
I've got my lawn.
Options here. I'll stay on your lawn all day if I want to.
Dang it, man.
Now the question is, do I want to finally balk and take a reliever? It's a little tricky here.
Would you have one yet?
I mean, no. I mean,
Okay.
Will Smith is out there.
Well, there's 3 good ones, and then it is going to plummet. It is going to plummet down.
I know.
Like
so I'm going to take one of them. I'll take Will Smith just because I know you've cornered the market on Braves. I'm going to take one away from you. I did get the reach alert, though. There we go. There's the angry emoji like this looking at me in the face. 89% chance that Will Smith would have made it. I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to live in the present. Austin Meadows goes 10-02. Then we got Jared Walsh, 10-03. Kyle Schwarber, great value at 10-4. Another player I was thinking about. Lauren, you're on the clock for the 10-05.
I was debating between Votto and Josh Bell. I think this is kind of the sweet spot of first basemen that I'm targeting because there's a clump of guys there that I really like. But I ended up going with Josh Bell. Yeah, I think that, I think that he's, I think it's interesting, especially now that you have, I think that you have Nelson Cruz, who will be batting, I think right now in front of him, and you've got Soto in front of him. I think the Nats lineup is okay, but it is kind of interesting. It's not the best, but it's interesting, I think.
All right. Next up after that, after Josh Bell, you got Nelson Cruz going, then Jordan Romano going, another closer. Welsh, you took Max Muncy here, so you're feeling confident about the health.
Yeah, I mean, they said he would be ready. You get an extra little week that's added on top of it, so that makes me feel a little bit better. Big power. I wanted Schwarber, like, super bad. I get position flexibility with Muncy. And, we just had multiple instances where they're not ignoring the conversation. They're talking about it. So if that's the case, I get to add Muncy on a team that I already have Olsen and Albies. So he's more of just a flex corner guy with huge, huge power. So I feel fantastic about that pick. I don't feel fantastic about everything else because you guys are just destroying the market here of good players.
We'll see what happens, what the wizard says. You concentrate on your pick. I'm going to recap these next ones. Reese Hoskins, 10-09. Dalton Varsho, another Welsh favorite, 10-10. Grandal at 10-11. DJ LeMahieu, then Gallegos starts the 11th round. Kenley Jansen, Wilson Contreras, Jake Cronenworth, Clayton Kershaw to the Welsh.
Yes. Give me Kershaw. He's back. As you can also see, maybe I'm not giving the biggest focus on quality starts or OBP with the added addition, but I am targeting like really good players on really, really good teams. Kershaw's just one of those guys that I may not get the 200 innings out of, but he's going to go deeper into games. He's going to stack wins. So even if I lose out on quality starts, I'm going to bring back the wins. And you didn't take the wins away because this is 6x6. I might have fit a little bit different if this was only quality starts, but I still get the wins. I love Kershaw back with the Dodgers. It's a no-brainer.
All right, so after Kershaw, Brendan Rodgers, who I had my eye on, goes, then Pablo Lopez. Lauren, you are on the clock.
I kind of double tapped on the first baseman with CJ Cron there. I just like it, Cron in Colorado. It's just like an easy power move for me, and he's not going to kill you in batting average.
Now, I am going to pay attention to OBP. After CJ Cron, Yoel Moncada, Tyler Mahle goes, Joey Gallo. So I'm going to take Joey Votto at the 11-12. And I just got not one, not two, but 3 claps from the Draft Wizard. Thank you, Draft Wizard. You and
Joe, I had Votto on my board. One thing I think we all screwed up on, and this is just the deficiency of this sometimes, we shouldn't have let Gallo be post 100. Well, no, I forgot. We didn't replace average with OBP. We just added it.
Yeah, we just added it.
That does make him a little skewy. He's just one of those guys that's such an advantage in OBP, but he still hurts your average. But Votto was almost the pick. I was debating between Muncy and Votto, so I absolutely love your pick. It's a monster.
Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And I know he doesn't have a lot of friends to play with right now. He's not really hanging out with anybody.
No. But he's
now
got
it's a matter of
right?
Yeah.
So
well, that's the thing. Now he's going to walk a million times again too, because just don't pitch to Joey Votto, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's time for just reaching. So I'm sure the reach alert's coming here for me, but I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take Michael Kopech here with 12-1. I don't care where the innings are, how he gets them. I just want them on my team. Brian Hayes goes at 12-02. I don't know who just had a frustrated sound. Was that you, Lauren, or Welsh? I can't tell.
No, it's me. It's always me, apparently. Joe, if I'm not one of the analysts that loves your team at the end, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked at how this is going. I don't
have enough closers for your taste, would be my guess. So Franber, Dansby Swanson, Lauren, you're on the clock, 12:05. Where do you go?
Chris Bassett, who is another target of mine always. And I like the move also to New York for him. And he's just one of these, I feel like, underrated guys. Again, I mean, it's not like a super high strikeout move, but he's so consistent. He has his ERA and surface stats are just good, and I just feel like he always goes under the radar.
Yeah, I love Bassett. Bassett was a guy I was considering too, but I just went for the sexy upside there of Michael Kopech. Willie Adams goes next, then Shane Boz, Chris Welsh. What do you do for 1208?
I went for Nathan Eovaldi. Sorry, I was scrolling through here as I'm making out my next pick.
Eovaldi was walking invitation. I wasn't sure.
I went for. I can't do a good impression.
I took him here. He had so many choices. I still
stabbed him in the face with a solder iron. Yeah.
It's
You're talking to me all wrong. You're talking to me with the wrong tongue.
Be careful. Don't get auto picked.
I'm not getting. Well, I might get auto picked.
All right.
I was focused on both of those pitchers here. This is a tough spot because I don't love everybody, but we're going to do this if I can get over there. I'm going to acknowledge a little bit of the Yankee bump. I need third base. I've kind of fallen off the table a little bit. I took Josh Donaldson right around pick like 140 because I needed that third baseman pretty bad, and that's just more big power for this team.
All right, more big power for the Welsh. You can't get enough of it. Lauren, I know you're back up on the clock real quick. I'm just going to recap. After Eovaldi, Sonny Gray, Zach Gowen, Justin Turner, Trent Grisham. Then at 13, starting 1301, Chris Taylor, Kelenic, Manaya, Ian Anderson, Josh Donaldson to Welsh. Then Suzuki goes 1306, Miles Straw 1307. Lauren, 1308. You're on the clock.
So I went with Alex Verdugo. I like the average there. I like the OBP. I like the runs. I like Alex Verdugo here.
What more can you ask for? I need some power according to the draft wizard as I'm looking here. So
I haven't been
do I try to just throw it all to a wall with Jorge Soler? Ugh, that's asking a lot. Welsh, what do you think about that? Do you think that makes me crazy, or you think
I'm not? Well,
that's
I mean,
what you do?
I'm not a big Jorge Soler guy right now. Like there's some other power bats. I mean, like Hunter Renfroe. Like Hunter Renfroe is probably a power bat. I would rather go in on Soler.
He still there.
Should 100% be there. I'm not looking at the full board of guys, but I mean, Avicel, if you're willing to, risk it a little bit, but Renfroe's a big power guy. Grossman is still out there as well for power speed. Jorge Soler's not my jam at this point.
But fair enough. Now I did have to make a panic pick there because I was running out of time. It's too much multitasking here for me. So I did take Kirilloff with one of them because I like Kirilloff anyway. So I was like, okay, that's good. Because I was looking for Hunter Renfroe, couldn't find him. Now I find him. So I will, let's see. Am I going to take
Are you guys concerned about his wrists at all or no?
No, Kirilloff?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, his dad's a hitting coach, by the way. I interviewed Kirilloff a couple years ago on the show Prospect One. His dad is a pretty accomplished hitting coach, and he's a really, really smart player. That wrist injury that just takes longer to recover from, and it kind of depleted that first season, carried over into the next one. So I love him. I think he's a completely underrated player. I love the guy, but it's something to monitor. But it's not a long-term worry for me, at least.
Yeah.
This is where my draft took a tank. So I'm just telling you right now. So Melanson went 9, then Lourdes Gurriel, Adolis Garcia. I took Kirilloff, who was a player I like, dual eligibility too. I took Renfroe. It gave me the reach alert, so the Wizard and I are fighting again. Then Eduardo Rodriguez, who I almost took. Had I had my druthers, I would have taken Rodriguez and Renfroe, but I didn't. Rizzo goes next. Chapman goes after that, the newest member of the Toronto Blue Jays, because they just keep adding everybody. Lauren, you're on the clock for 14.
I know. I'm like, I'm at a point where I don't like it right now.
We're in a range. I can tell you, we're 100%
definitely
range right now.
So I'm going to go Andrew Benintendi, who I also have been getting in lots of drafts. I like him because he's underrated. He contributes everywhere, but not like exceptionally well in one area. And I think that Royals lineup is kind of sneaky and interesting this season.
Yeah, I would agree. That's also one of Welsh's guys, which is why you get another grunt out of Welsh. He's had a lot of Benintendi shares on this show. Lance McCullers next.
Of grunts and moans and
Then we have Louis Garcia, Houston off the board right before you. Welsh, you're up for 1408.
So when I was at Padres camp the other day, one of the pleasant sights was getting to watch a couple guys throw. It was Joe Musgrove and Mike Clevenger was out there looking healthy, looking spry, and just pushing balls by Manny Machado in them. And I'm going to take Mike Clevenger. I think he looked healthy, which is a big key. Back with the team, again, wins. I'm going with Darvish and Clevy. And right around 160, it's a pretty, I don't know if it's a value. Yeah, the thing says like 89% he would have been there a little bit later, but I think he's between that 160, 180 mark, and I'm trying to pick up on stolen bases there, Joey.
It's frustrating, isn't it, when it mocks you? When the mock
the
draft
mock mocks you, it's that double mock.
It
makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's a lot of mocking going on there. So Clevenger goes, I like the Clevenger pick personally, so I don't care what the mock wizard says to you. Carlson, Hyunjin Ryu, Logan Gilbert, Michael Conforto at 14-12, starting 1501, Michael Brantley, Marcus Stroman, Gleyber Torres, Joe Adele. Welsh, you're back up on the clock with 20 seconds.
I am back up on the clock, needing to make a pick pretty quick here. And I don't love really all of it. All right, I'm going to do this.
There is a drop
I'm with
off.
you.
This is my pushing to have fun this year, everybody, and play shallow leagues. Everyone's like, oh, it's an all-star team. So what? It's fun. Fantasy's supposed to be fun. Everything doesn't have to be this challenge where you play 2 tight ends and 12 catchers and you have to make yourself miserable. I don't know why people do that to themselves. Damn it, Welsh, you took the guy that I wanted the most. Well done. So now we're even. Ding dong.
Took Patrick Sandoval.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm just trying to stack up. When watching some of my categories right now, I am dominant offensively, and pitching I'm doing okay, but wins and quality starts it just doesn't like. So Clevenger and Patrick Sandoval, breakout candidate, big strikeout candidate, just perfect for the back end of my rotation.
All right. Next is Tyler Stevenson, Marcelo Zuna, Robbie Grossman. Then, I'm sorry, Lauren.
That is me, Robbie Grossman.
1508. Go take
I'm also in this kind of like mode of the draft. But so I was like, I get a little power, a little speed, top of that Tigers lineup, which I like this season. So it's Robbie Grossman.
All right, Robbie Grossman goes next. Then Trey Mancini, Ranger Suarez, Luis Severino now puts me up on the clock for 2 picks. I hate this, but I'm going to do it. I already have Charlie Morton, so I guess he needs somebody else on the AARP list with him. So we'll put Adam Wainwright, who experts say is a steal. But I mean, any chance of him repeating what he did last year is probably absolutely impossible. So I'm not even going to dignify that remark. Welsh, who's your favorite closer left of this bunch? You got Duvall, Kimbrel, Trinan, Soto, Whitlock.
See, this is a tough spot here because, like, if Kimbrel gets traded, it's him. I might speculate. Trinan has the job. See, okay, it might be Trinan simply because I don't see how the Dodgers are going to bring back Kinley after the money they've spent, and he looks like he's lined in to be the closer. So I probably speculate on one of those 2 guys, and I'd probably go Trinan.
Do you agree, Lauren? Trinan was kind of where I was going to.
Yeah.
I figured, I was trying to hopefully steal another closer there, but instead I get the reach alert. 95% chance that Blake Trinan will make it back to me. So there you go. Everything going downhill.
They're closers. They're not ranking high.
Ty France goes next. Corey Knebel after that. Kybert Ruiz. Lauren, you are on the clock.
I know. I'm on the clock.
It's the worst. Like, I don't want to be up.
Terrible.
Picking players. Stupid draft.
What am I doing here?
Two things.
I'm gonna go with Disco here, with Tony Disco.
There you go. Anthony Discofani, 1605.
Yeah, I needed another pitcher here. I like him. I like what they're doing in San Francisco. Although now, they're bringing in all these guys in San Francisco, and I think just like with this idea that it's like, well, we'll just kind of bring these like injury-prone players in, and we'll just rotate them because they're not all going to last the full season. And so I feel like that's what the strategy is right now. But
it could work.
It could. And I'm buying Desclafani's season last year. I don't know if he'll replicate it or anything, but I think that there's a lot of sweet sauce going out there in San Francisco with the pitchers.
Team 7 just took Jack Leiter, clearly building a dynasty team here. Brandon Belt, then Welsh. You just took one of your absolute Welsh dudes here with the next pick at 1608.
Yeah, I don't even realize like how much I think I've made him my guy, but I took him at Rosario. I've kind of highlighted as a breakout candidate. Power speed, you can never have enough speed on the team. He's my last outfielder, but he also qualifies as shortstop, which I did not get. So I'm going to put him at shortstop at this point. I was looking at Brandon Crawford, but I just wanted a little bit more of a speed push, just FYI.
Fair enough there. So after Rosario, Kimbrel, Garcia, Luis Urias of the Milwaukee Brewers, and Ryan McMahon goes. Nice value at 1612. 1701, Tariq Skubal, Colton Wong, Eddie Rosario, Trevor Bauer at 1704. Welsh, who'd you take at 1705?
Charlie Blackmon. I went with Charlie Blackmon to be my final outfielder. I've got now Acuna, Springer, Winker, and Charlie Blackmon, who's got Chris Bryant in there. Always betting on Colorado. I just think he's kind of a dealy type of guy here. He's a deal and helps me a little bit in the OBP department.
All right. So after that, Keel Badu, Eduardo Escobar, Gene Segura goes to Lauren. Lauren, talk about Gene Segura at 1708.
I like Gene Segura. He's kind of clump him in with like an Andrew Benintendi, where he's going to give you production across the board, but especially some sneaky runs, leading off in Philly there, especially with, Kyle Schwarber coming in. And he also, he's a good batting average play. I think he's got like a 285 plus like career average. So, which is tough to get at this point when we are just after kind of pick 200. So I like him for lots of reasons.
All right. I like this next pick I'm going to make here because it's OBP. And so I'm going to go ahead and take Brandon Nimmo and hope for once things actually go my way with this pick here. So Julio Rodriguez went after Lauren. I got to steal. How is the Wizard like that? That the Wizard likes? Come on. My goodness. So after Segura, Julio Rodriguez, Jake McGee, Jorge Soler, and I took Jordan Montgomery and Brandon Nimmo. Took another starting pitcher. Again, just trying to take a good pitcher on a good team. I think Montgomery can get me 13 wins with the Yankees. Took Nimmo for the OBP. It seems like he's going to play every day from what we're hearing out of Mets camp. Scott Barlow goes next at 1802. Then Yuli Gurriel, Eugenio Suarez at 1804. Lauren, you're on the clock for 1805.
John Means was sitting there for a really long time. I'm not like the biggest Means person, but I think that he does help you out and whip. And I think that he can, I don't know. I feel like he's just dropping a lot and I don't know that he should be. So I was Means.
Yeah, you sniped me. That was 100% where I was going. So that's a great
I was just going to say, Nick Pollock is very high on John Bean. So I listen when Nick talks most of the time, unless he's talking about pancakes.
Unless he's talking about pancakes.
Gross. Camilo Duvall, then Austin Hayes. Welsh, you're up on the clock here for 1808.
I took Crawford. I had a middle infield spot that was open. I now got Ahmed Rosario and Crawford. Just if I'm playing the cheap shortstop game, which I am obviously, that I thought those were really good options. I was going to go John Means though, and then I figured that I was going to get one of these guys coming back here, and I got to decide, let's flip over here. We're going with Alex Wood. Giants are always picking up wins. I get some strikeouts. It's just a good final starting pitcher for my team.
That was my guy.
After Crawford, you got Mitch Garver, Noelvi Marte, Tanner Houck, Herman Marquez. Then in 1901, starting the 19th round, Hendricks, Syndergaard, Torkelson, who I was hoping would make it back to me. It did not, but probably Welsh would have taken him. Adley Rutschman. Then you took Wood, Alex Cobb, Brennan Davis. Lauren, you are up next on the clock.
It all hurts right now. We're all just like, oh god.
Guys. Okay. Let's see here.
I don't see a lot of good players anymore.
I'm gonna round my pitching staff out here with. I'm going to do Steven Matz, just because I think that he is this extremely, ground ball heavy pitcher, and he's got the league's #1 defense behind him. I don't know. I like rounding the staff out with Matz.
I like the Matz pick. I think it's terrific. I can't believe this guy's still out there, and I love taking a shot on him as another guy that the pitcher list guys we had a nice long discussion about. So I'm going to go ahead and take John Gray and see if getting out of Colorado is enough to get it done. So after Lauren took Matz, your Queedy goes Frank Schwindel, Ramon Laureano, and then I took John Gray. So I have another pick up here. Right now, in terms of my needs on my roster, I have a utility spot and a middle infield spot open. I'm going to leave that utility spot open here. Probably Scope was the guy that I was looking at, and I think that's the way that I'm going to go. Just kind of lock in some extra power there. It's cheap. He goes into the middle infield spot for me. So I'm actually very happy with Gray. I'm bouncing back a little bit after a couple tough rounds. 19 and 20 finally went my way. George Kirby, my goodness, so much youth here in this draft. It just shows you once you get deep, you got to start taking shots on kids.
They're going off the rails.
Adam Duvall, Joe Ryan, one of Ariel Cohen's favorites here from the show. Lauren, you're up on the clock at 20:05.
I went with Kiki Hernandez. I think you get some pop there. You get tons of, runs. So yeah, it's Kiki at this point for me.
Kiki Hernandez, Ian Happ, David Bednar goes next. Welsh, you're up for 1208. Oh, excuse me, 2008. What am I saying? That was years ago, 12.
How did I get up again? All right. There's no good hitters. I don't need any pitchers. Tough. And again, the hitters are atrocious. So I am going to go with the potential Mets leadoff hitter. I got 2 util spots. I can take whoever I want. I'm going to go with Canna. Help me in runs.
Oh, that's a nice selection there. I like that.
Put him at the top. And then I'm going to come back up. And I think all I have is 1 util and a catcher. Yeah.
Well, so after Canna, you got Darno, Volpe, Carlos Carrasco, who I was kind of keeping around there. Savali starts 21. Then Aniel Cruz, Taylor Rogers, Christian Javier, another one of my favorite late round picks, going at 2104. So Welsh, you're up at 2105.
So I'm trying to, you know what, I was going to do this. Everyone knows I tweeted out that Andrew Vaughn stuff last week or earlier in the week where he was playing second base, and that was interesting. Not that I'm going to make me pivot off of him, but I'm going to go with, because I think he might be one of the better options on the board, but I'm going to go with a little homer of a pick. I'm going to go with Diamondbacks Josh Rojas, who is going to be at the top of the order for the Diamondbacks. He's position eligible across everything. He's power speed. It's just a good complementary player for this team, assuming I'm not trying to chase any more power.
I almost selected him when I took Scope, but I took the power for Scope, so I like that pick. Christian Vasquez goes next. Lou Trevino goes after that. Lauren, you're up for 2108.
I am. My computer I'm getting a wheel here, but
you made your pick.
Who did I pick?
It says Nicky Lopez. Is that who you wanted?
Okay. I'm fine. I was looking at
I'm
something.
I'm going to take it from the okay.
I'm fine
it's
with
not
that.
Who you
I'm okay. You get some steals there. I do think people are a little wary of him just because I don't know if they can buy into last season, but he does have good quality of contact stats. And so that's good. So I think that he can maintain a batting average and get some steals. I can make a case for Nicky Lopez. That works. That's fine.
All right. I think I need a little bit more just power in the middle here, some more RBI. So I'm going to go take a shot on the Bobby Dahlback and see what's going on there. See if that works.
Well, he had a good day yesterday.
Well, let's hope that he has a good season for this mock draft theoretical team that I'm putting together here. Catchers left because I got to get a catcher because it's last round. You know me, I wait to the end. Especially one catcher league. So it's Kirk, it's Elias Diaz, it's Sean Murphy. I don't want to take Gary Sanchez in Minnesota, as tempting as that might be. So I'll go ahead and I'll keep it simple with Murphy. He's the last man standing. I assume he's the cleanup hitter now, considering what's going on there. So just to once again recap. So after Lauren was Nicky Lopez, Tristan McKenzie goes next. Gregory Soto, Drew Rasmussen, Bobby Dahlback, and Sean Murphy to me. Last round, Yasser Yanoa, great last round pick there. Josh Young, interesting selection there. Is going to miss a lot of time. Adam Frazier, nice late selection. Then Lauren, you took your catcher. Who'd you take?
I took Omar Narvaez, who's always like one of my last catcher picks in one catcher leagues because you get some average. You have a little bit of pop, but it's mostly the average play.
All right. Gary Sanchez goes next. You say Kikuchi. That's a good pick at 22. I like that. Welsh, you're up on the clock, 2208.
I was going to take Gary Sanchez, regardless of what you said. I would have taken him with the big power and DHing, but he went 2 picks before me, so I took Carson Kelly. It was him or Max Stacy are kind of like my back-end catchers, so I just went with Carson Kelly. All
right. So the draft grades are out. I'm okay. I got a B.
I did not do well. I have third base open, which I thought I had covered third base. So I got a D,
move somebody around. Maybe you know who I blame? Nicky Lopez.
Nicky Lopez did it again, Nicky. God.
Well, look, you have an incomplete. I've got the 86 out of 100 with the B. Welsh, how did you end up?
Do you want to know?
Is it A plus plus plus?
You all want to know? A plus 99 out of 100. Let's wait to see the time. I'm so excited for the projections. You know who I wonder? I wonder if I will love my own draft the most.
In the words of T.O., I love you some you, right?
I am loving me some me.
Welsh loves him some Welsh.
Is loving me some me today, too.
Well, yeah, you did win the draft. So Christopher Welsh, 99. What a score.
Wow.
Team 1 had a 90, Team 11 a 90. I am at 5 with 87. Lauren at 76. But again, the third base thing, I'm going to pretend like it's more like an 84. Can we give you an 84?
Well,
That's
you
my
can, but I'll take the grade that I got. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. Now, in terms of who liked your draft, Welsh, go ahead. Did you like your draft the most?
The expert that liked my draft the most was Chris Welsh of Fantasy Pros. I love my own Welsh. I love my own draft so much.
At Is It the Welsh?
Nice.
I love my own draft so much. I mean, let's be clear though. Can you be more locked into your own takes and not like I'm not faking here? Like I have my ranks here. I drafted it out. Not only did I love my draft more than anybody else, which is ridiculous. 99 out of 100, baby. Just making a point. No big deal. No big deal, Joe.
All right. Well, it says that what if for me, and again, I love the draft insight. So after your draft is over, it gives you all the draft insights. The top player I took was Devers because he's a top 3 at their position. But it says, what if I had taken Kyle Tucker, then I could have taken a third baseman later. And it says I would have been significantly higher, which is something that was a goal of mine, especially in college, to always get that. But Lauren, you ended up taking Tucker instead. What does your draft insight say? Did it give you your reaches? Did it give you your what ifs? What are some of the things you thought were interesting here?
Well, so my top players are Bryce Harper and JD Martinez. But my what if was Nick Castellanos. And had I drafted him instead of a pitcher, I would have been significantly higher. It says that I should be rooting for the Red Sox in this one because I have a ton of Red Sox. And in terms of steals, Gene Segura, John Means, we talked about, both of those guys. I like them both, as these kind of later round players. And I did reach on Steven Matz. But
you know what though? I like that reach on Steven Matz. Okay. I feel like that's a guy who, lefties sometimes figure it out later. He's in a good spot there with St. Louis, good support around him, good defensive team too. Like why not take him there? I think that's silly. I don't think that's a reach at all.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
And it says that I project to be top 4 in OBP, which is good. QS, which is good. We're talking about the 6x6 here, and the best in average. And Frank Stample of CBS likes my draft.
Oh, well, then it must be very good. If Frank Stample likes it. Frankie Boy was on the show earlier this week. My reaches were Michael Kopech and Brandon Nimmo, which I'm at peace with. I'm fine with that. If those are my reaches. Welsh, who are your reaches in your draft?
I only had one, and it said Emmanuel Clase. Just didn't like my closer thing.
But that's fine, right? I mean, I feel like you're always reaching for the closers. It's like you take that every day, right?
Well, it said Will Smith was a reach for me. Like you got to reach for any closer, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny too. It has as my what if, it says, what if you had drafted Vlad? You could have scored significantly higher. Hey, I scored a 99. How much higher can I go? So that what if is pretty fun. Joe, by the way, also taking a look here, my positional ranks, number 1 overall, number 1 in starters, number 4 in hitters, and number 2
we
in
get
pitchers.
it. It was good.
So it was good. It was good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Just
and who said it was the best? Remind me.
This really smart guy named Christopher Welsh.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
No relation.
Okay.
No relation, of course.
No relation. On expert opinions, though, Welsh, is what I'll tell you. People who liked my draft, me. I did. Joe P.
Did you see? Well, there you go, guys.
Again, staying on brand. Scott White from CBS, of course, likes my draft because Scott and I always see players the same way. But you know who else liked my draft, Welsh?
Who?
Scott Bogman. That's
right.
No,
again, you and Scott Bogman are you're lost.
Love affair. I'm looking at who hated my draft. Nate Markham hated my draft. A couple other Heath Caps hated my draft. Chris Clegg hated my draft. So, Chris, what do they do to you? I like you, Chris. I don't know why you don't like my draft.
You didn't draft enough Braves. That's what.
I guess on expert opinions, just out of curiosity, morbid curiosity, most likely, who liked your draft and didn't like it, Lauren?
Let me see here. Okay, so, so Frank was like the number 1. And like Pat Fitzmaurice, so that's good.
Pat likes it. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are good. Did you want me to like list all of these people here?
No, I don't know if there's anybody fun, like if Welsh liked it or someone on the expert opinions. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's friends in the industry who like to mock
the thumbs down is Scott Pianowski. Scott Pianowski does not like my draft. He did not like my Bryce Harper pick or my Ryan Presley pick or my Shane McClanahan pick. Like what, Scott?
Come on, Scott. Give her a break, will you, Scott? Come on. All right, let's run through the teams here. Welsh, take us through your squad here. Let's start with Carson Kelly, Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Brendan Crawford, Josh Donaldson, Max Muncy, Ahmad Rosario. Then in the outfield, Ronald Acuna, George Springer, Winker, Blackman, Kana, Rojas. I'm a little worried about Winker. I got to tell you. Let's talk about the offense. Are you worried about him moving to Seattle now?
No, I said I'm not. I mean, like, we can talk about power suppression, but the biggest thing with Winker has always been, and this might be everyone else's take, was like, can he hit for power? And he's not built to be a 40 home run type of a hitter. So I'm not sure we're going to have major power suppression. He goes into a little bit worse of a park, which he's going to play in half the time. He makes incredibly good contact. There's a lot of good run support around him. I think this is good. Maybe he ticks down a little bit in power, but I think the batting average is going to hold up. And this might be more run and RBI than we've seen in Cincinnati. So I'm not that worried. Plus, you know, it was one little small look, but he looked awesome yesterday. He just looked awesome in those backfields. I mean, he looks like the pros pro of hitters.
It's a very good team, Welsh. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm looking at it right now, and the pitching staff.
You like it, by the way, on the strength. I just want to point out. You were one of, on my 5. Pianowski actually liked mine. He was one of mine, and you were one of my my team guys on the experts.
Yeah. Giolito, Darvish, Kershaw, Eovaldi. I love the Clevenger pick. I love the Sandoval pick. Wood, Edwin Diaz, Clase. I mean, that's a good staff right there. I'd go to war with that. Lauren, you got Narvaez at catcher, CJ Crone, India, Nicky Lopez. Who do you want to take at third base?
Who should we take at base? Anyone?
Maybe
let's go look at the waiver wire.
Chapman's in Toronto, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know what though? Like, I was looking, I had written down like the categories. Apparently I cannot write down properly because I missed the third base thing. And then I had like 2 extra. I had like Benintendi, who I love, but he didn't fit anywhere. And neither did Kiki Hernandez. So I somehow wrote something down wrong. And I think this contributed to my score. So I'm sitting here with a blank third baseman.
You just make a trade. It's fine. Josh Bell, Gene Segura. I like the Benintendi pick. And of course, in the outfield, loaded Harper, Tucker, Teoscar Hernandez, JD Martinez, Verdugo, and Grossman. I from an offensive standpoint, third base, jokingly aside, I mean, this dog will hunt as far as I'm concerned. How do you feel about this massive outfield you got here?
I like it. Outfield, you know, I was saying I didn't really love, because I think those were like my 1 through 4, 1 through 3 picks, just picking up outfielders. But, you know, it plays. I'll take it because they're all really good power speed combo guys.
All right. And then after that, the rotation is Lance Lynn, Barrios, McClanahan, Chris Bassett, John Means. If Means gets right, this is a really solid staff because these are guys who are going to go out there, take the ball every 5th day, and just give you good quality starts. And that's why you're leading in quality starts. There's no doubt about it. Desclafani, Steven Matz, Ryan Presley in there as well. So I like this team. So Kike Hernandez, Andrew Benintendi on the bench. But Kiki can play third base. Tell him to grab his glove,
why not?
You know,
right?
Do you love me?
Yeah.
All right, let's pick this one apart. Sean Murphy, Joey Votto, Whit Merrifield, Bobby Witt Jr., Rafael Devers, Alex Kirilloff, Jonathan Scope. Then the outfield, Mike Trout, Cedric Mullins, Brian Reynolds, Hunter Renfroe, Bobby Dahlbeck, Brandon Nimmo. Welsh, what are your thoughts on the offense here for Joey P?
Yeah, I mean, I thought like you got power bats that I don't usually chase. I don't chase guys like Dahlbeck and Renfroe to make up for.
Well, I was
homers.
behind. So.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I don't love to play that game, so I try to be cognizant. I hate to play the behind game, but like I love the core of this team. I love the stolen bases that you have with Witt. I love the Votto pick. Trout is just such a monster for OBP. I mean, you're dominant with stolen bases. You've got great batting average. You're probably playing well in OBP.
Batting average is high too, yeah.
But then it's like the guys like the Dahlbeck and Renfroe maybe bring you down a little bit. But I think it's just a really, really great offense, and I'm very much in for 2 dominant stolen base guys, and you did that with Mullins and Witt.
Joe Musgrove, Charlie Morton, Trevor Rogers, Michael Kopech, Adam Wainwright, Jordan Montgomery, John Gray, Will Smith, and Blake Trinan. What are your thoughts on the pitching staff here, Lauren, that I have assembled for this mock draft?
I love it. Excuse me. I like it a lot. You know,
You can say you hate it. You're allowed.
No, I do
like
it.
On Tuesday for the fest.
I do like it. I think I'm a big Charlie Morton fan and Musgrove fan. And Trevor Rogers, I think, is going to have a really fabulous year this season. I don't know, when did you get Wainwright? Do you know like what
late? It was very late.
Okay, yeah. I'm curious to see what happens with Wainwright this season. But I think that if it was late, as long as like you weren't paying for, I think last season, I think it's totally fine. But I have no idea what's going to happen with him this season. And I like the Jordan Montgomery pick. And I think that
15 was the round. 15.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good value.
Then I think think that's good.
Believe me, he scares the crap out of me, so it's okay.
It's like I'm curious to see what happens. And I think John Gray, I think we're all looking forward to seeing like what's happening with John Gray, once he's out of Colorado. And I do think that Texas rotation is kind of interesting, although I guess they did recently bring in some new pieces, so I don't know how it will ultimately turn out. But like with Dane Dunning, and you have was it Nick Martinez, who they just brought in.
Spencer Howard.
I love Spencer Howard this season.
They've got talent. It's just a matter of can they harness it. And I got to say, I saw John Gray interviewed on MLB Network. I don't know why Welsh wasn't doing this interview, but they were interviewing John Gray from from the camp, and he just seemed like it's such a good spirit. Like he's like, it just could feel like this weight was lifted off of the guy. And I'm just curious mentally how that affects him potentially.
I mean, did you see that he came to camp? You know how like with your kids, you can have like the chalkboard that says my name is.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I was there that day,
actually. Yeah,
it was so fun. It was so funny. I talked to him for a little bit. I was there on that day. He is one of the nicest guys on the planet. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that makes sense because he's just such a nice guy. By the way, I just want to throw this in. Breaking news: Luke Voit was just traded to the Padres. So throwing this in here.
Interesting. Luke Voit to the Padres. So there
he needed to get out of the Yankees system.
This is why you get the news desk app of Fantasy Pros. So you know exactly what's going on. That's how Chris learns everything about his life, about baseball, about football, everything. It's all there.
Everything.
And Lauren's going to come back and join us on Tuesday because we've got the Fantasy Fest coming up Tuesday, 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have mock drafts. We're going to have fun. Lauren's going to be there. Welsh, Bogman, Nick Pollock's going to join us. Frank Stampfl's going to join us. Casey Bubba's going to join us. It's a who's who. It's going to be a fun time. So if you want to just sit back and listen and watch on our YouTube channel at fantasypros.com. Again, you can go check out youtube.com/fantasyprosmlb to get our baseball fest on. It's going to be great fun. We love interacting with everybody on there too. So you can go make your comments if you like. And I encourage everybody out there to go to fantasypros.com/draftwizard and do your own mock drafts and get ready. This is the time of year. It's time to get everything rocking and rolling and make sure you get all that together and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/fantasypros MLB, leading off every day for you, the Welsh, myself, a host of characters are going to bring for all of us.
Okay. All right.
We're the most fun you can have for a half hour every day, just talking about baseball. We're going to talk about fantasy stuff. We're going to do our home run contest again. We're going to do DFS. We're going to do a little wagering stuff. It's just going to be wall-to-wall half hour fun in baseball. And it's live every single day on YouTube, 5 days a week on weekdays. We want you to be a part of leading off. So go subscribe wherever you get your podcast right now as well. Lauren, thanks so much. It's so nice to have new friends in the industry.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're doing a great job on SP Streamer. You're welcome. And make sure you go follow her at LK Auerbach over on the Twitter machine. So your first Fantasy Pro show, how'd it go for you? You feeling okay?
That's good. I'm happy to be coming back. It was great. You guys are great hosts. You felt very comfortable and it was fun. It was all good. Two thumbs up.
See, Welsh, we are fun, no matter what our moms told us.
So much fun.
So much fun.
That's what we would.
Welsh will have lots. Follow Welsh on Twitter for more pictures of Manny Machado at Is It the Welsh as well. Maybe you can get some other.
Who should I take a picture with today? Should I try to get Bobby Witt? I'll try to get Bobby.
Try and get
Bobby Witt, but I want you to also continue this trail of getting.
Nikki Lopez.
Get Nikki Lopez.
You know what? I've talked with Nikki before. I will try to get
Nikki Lopez.
You know what? We're gonna go for Nikki Lopez, and also for my In This League crew, we'll try to get Adalberto as well. We'll try to see if we can get some pictures.
I want you to keep getting those miserable guys in baseball to smile. That's what because you did Machado. That's great. I want you to find another contender.
Mondesi does Mondesi smile?
I don't know. He's always on the IL. I never see him. So it's hard to tell.
That'll
do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Lauren and Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out our featured videos. And while you're at it, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fantasy Pros, so you can get the latest news and updates to give you the edge you need in your fantasy league.